Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is our final concert with the 6th grade band behind me. Let's give them a round of applause here. My name is Bruce Morlock. It's good to talk to you again. It's crazy to think that just a few months ago we were here and we were playing our very first concert for you. And just yesterday they went to RIS and they played for the 5th grade band, which was the first time they heard band kids performing for them just a year ago. So they got to pass it on. And so far I'm proud to announce that we have the largest amount of kids signed up for beginning band next year that we've ever had at this time. And it's thanks to these kids right here. So tonight, for our final concert for you, we're going to play 3 tunes because now they've graduated into full band pieces. And while it's going to be a short amount of music, I hope you can appreciate the amount of time we took spending in these pieces during a testing season where we had a lot of crazy schedules going on. But these kids would show up every day that we had band, and I was so impressed with how well they played. And so today, we're going to start with a little tune called Mary Had a Little Lamb. I'm kidding, we're not going to do that. But we are going to start with a warm-up that we do every day. You heard us do it advancing around, and I think it's so important for them to catch the first 5 notes on their instrument. This is called up-down, so I hope you enjoy a little bit of a warm-up right now. Here we go. Tonight. The first one you heard in a very big gym just about a month ago. It's the very first piece that we started working on together called Tadpoles. One of the things that you might not know is that, I don't know if I brought this up, I don't know if I did, but we had a person help us out with Tadpoles. And I don't know, Roush, are you here right now?
I'm right over here.
There you go. So Roush is a high school round of applause as they come to the stage right now. They're a Dr. Tech student, and during lessons I was talking about how we needed a frog guiro, which is, can you tell us, Andrew, can you show the little one? Show the little one. So that's a frog guiro right there. Can you make it do the froggy? Do the froggy. Can everyone hear the froggy? Okay, and Ralph said that was what, was 100%? 100%, and then I said, because he's 3D printed it on a 3D printer, which is still magic to me, by the way. If you're in my generation, we're like, I don't know how that works, but it's cool. I then said, Roush, how big can we go?
550%.
550%. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Frogzilla. And so thank you guys for that. And so I invited them tonight to play Frogzilla along with the 6th grade band. And so, a round of applause for Roush. Hold, I have to open it right now. Hold on here.
It's Christmas paper. Uh-oh. Is this fun? Did you get this from Harry Potter? It's an Ollivander's one. Did you 3D print me up? It's awesome. I got to open it first. Everyone is silent in suspense. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
I guess we're going to perform Tadpoles with a brand new baton and Frogzilla. So here we go. Let me set this box down as we get started. Thank you so much. So before we start this piece, I will tell you that this piece in particular has to do with subdivision of a beat. So normally when we're conducting, you can, ooh, this bounces. could be even more fun. Where's the beat? But when it bounces is the beat, and then in between the beat are what we call subdivisions, so 8 notes. So you count 1, 2, 3, and then we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that requires you to be feeling time the entire time. And right now, this piece of music has a lot of times where one group will play the 1 and the other group will play the 2 and it's a back and forth. Very difficult, deceptively hard for this age group, and so I hope you can appreciate that as we dance around here to Tacticals. Enjoy.
Hold on. I'm getting too silly, guys. I'm sorry.
More big round of applause for Roush and Frogzilla. The next thing I'd like to do, if we can get an extra stand out here, is I want to introduce you to some soloists and some duet players. Yesterday when we performed for the 5th grade, I mean, first of all, guys, I asked the kids, I just go, hey, who would like to play a solo? And I feel like I'm part of an age where when we were kids, if someone's like, who wants to play a solo? We'd be like, not me, anybody but me. And this group, I said, who wants to do a solo or duet? Everybody raised their hand, which is a great problem to have. And I was like, oh no. But that way we got some people that got to play yesterday for the kids and some people that are playing here for me today. So I'm excited to share some of them with you. So the first person that's going to come up is Sammy Dowers on the flute. We're going to have him come up. A round of applause for him. So he's going to play a little beginning part of the tune We Are. So take it away, Sam. Round of applause for Sammy. Next up is Lucia, and Lucia is coming up here and she's going to play a tune that I love very much called Somewhere Over the Rainbow. up on saxophone, we have Faith Gill, and she's going to be playing the tune Party in the USA. Here she is. Also on saxophone, we have Sydney and Lillian, who are coming up to play a little bit something that we heard a little bit early this year, which is London Bridge is Falling Down. They're playing it as a duet, so take it away, ladies. Round of applause for those ladies. Sam and, yeah. So this is Sam and Sean coming up here. After the middle school, the 7th and 8th grade band, we're having our concert at 7 o'clock, if you'd like to stay. And afterwards, we're having a jazz band concert. These two gentlemen are in the 6th grade, are the 6th graders in the jazz band, along with Jacob and Andrea on saxophone, as well as Hunter on trumpet. And so this is a little clip of something that we're playing later on called Frankenstein. So they want me to count them off, so I'm going to count them off. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, Round of applause for them. I wish that we could spend a lot of time playing, having every single student and every single kid have a solo or a duet, but I hope that you're getting performances at home on maybe a daily basis for free, right, as they practice and keep improving. And so if you haven't heard a performance yet, just ask them. Say, hey, play me something out of the book. These kids love more to play than they do to practice at home, and sometimes performances don't feel like practice, they just feel like fun. So I hope you keep encouraging them to perform for you. If you haven't heard for one, ask them tomorrow maybe, or their first day of summer. Our next tune we're going to play for you is called Rust Belt. It is in honor of all of the car factories that are a little bit north of us, including Detroit, and this is kind of the feeling of, and the vibe of the factories as they came to life back then. So hopefully you enjoy Rust Belt. One, two, 3. And ladies and gentlemen, just like that, we're at the very last piece of music for the entire year. It's crazy to think that so much work goes into such a small amount. But I have good news. And the good news is your student has the opportunity to continue band in 7th grade. And I hope that every single person on this stage will continue on in 7th. What I always view it as is 6th grade is like the tutorial. It's like learning how to play the instrument, learning how to drive a car, and then 7th grade is when we finally take it for a spin, right? We go out, we actually start playing pieces. Every single day, they'll have band for 50 minutes. It's a class. I get to see them so much more than I do now. And it would be incredible for you to see how much they grow in that year when we have just 1 hour together. And if you don't believe me, stay in here the 7th and 8th grade concert tonight and hear what you can do in 1 year or 2 years. And you heard it advancing around. It keeps getting built up. This group is the best 6th grade that I've had for now. And then next year, I try to get better and keep getting better. And so I appreciate them as being the second Jumpstart camp. We did get the grant from the Ross Community Foundation for a 3rd year for the Jumpstart camp. And so we'll have the biggest band with the Jumpstart next year, and I'm looking forward to that. But for this band, our final piece tonight before I send them off for the summer, which they should keep their instruments over the summer. They are yours, you've been leasing them, and so they should be practicing over the summer. I'm gonna give them stuff tomorrow that's fun stuff. It's like Star Wars and video game music and all kinds of stuff. So get excited to hear that over the summer. And then come back to me in August and we'll keep pushing it forward. So thank you so much for coming tonight. Our final piece this evening is called Dragon Slave. Here we go.
Percussion really like this piece for this reason. Right?
Ross, 6th grade band, thank you so much for a wonderful concert. I hope you have a wonderful summer, and we'll see you on the other side next year. Take care. Have a good night.
Thank you.